Dukes of Weebdom, episode 87. What's up? What's good? What's new?
Nothing.
Well, something minor. Yin came out and
yeah. Dope.
New
Slaps.
Slaps. Slapsalutely.
Slapsalutely.
Indeed. So yeah, nothing new. No new watches over the weekend or anything. New endeavors.
Oh, we started the newest season of the final season of The Boys. Like,
Oh,
what
nice.
am I watching?
I'm still on the last episode of previous season.
They had a lot of, like, melodrama, I feel like, this season. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
shit, some of our character arcs are kind of too finished. Let's sew some vestigial plot points onto them.
I mean, I've seen some stuff from it, but it seems like they're trying to make what's his name?
Frenchie?
No.
Oh.
The Flash ripoff guy.
A-Train.
A-Train. They're trying to, like, give him, like, a redemption arc of some kind, it looks like.
Kinda-ish, yeah. I'm in the midst of that right now.
I was like...
Which, honestly, is probably one of the better plot points this season.
But I'm like, how do you do that? Because, like, the first thing this show opens with is that dude running through somebody. One of the main characters' wife, fiance?
Yes, fiance.
And I'm like...
Mother's Milk actually has a great conversation with A-Train that kind of, like... I don't know, encapsulates the whole moment. Where he just kind of walks up and he's like, look, I could tell you kind of give a fuck in there. And you keep telling yourself you don't, but you finally give a fuck again. Are you going to give up this chance to actually keep giving a fuck? He's like, I'm just telling you, man. I'm just telling you. You know where to find me. Fastest man alive.
Well, I don't know. I'll watch it eventually. I mean...
It's still really good, too.
Yeah, I mean... I'm just, like...
I kind of like Homelander's, like, plotline right now.
I don't even know, actually. I don't know anything what's going on with him in the new season.
He found a gray hair. It's like an existential crisis.
Oh, well, everything with him is an existential crisis.
Yes. But he's kind of like grappling with like mortality.
I did notice... I saw something because it shows him... He goes to meet... He's trying to recruit somebody, I guess, and he goes to their house in...
Sister Sage.
Civilian clothes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit. It's like canon that the dude actually wears a muscle suit. Because he's skinny as fuck. I just found that hilarious, too.
I actually really like her character, too.
Because you gotta make sense. You gotta think, really, when you think about it, it makes sense. Because Homelander is not the type to go work out.
No.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely not. He's already superior.
Yeah. But
They have an interesting dynamic because she even says to his face, it's like, I don't want to work with you. Your ego can't handle someone smarter than you.
it's true. And a lot of people are smarter than him, too. He's not very intelligent.
No.
Or at least he's not as intelligent as he believes himself to be.
Mm.
Definitely that one.
Sensei love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, like, on Prime, I haven't seen the newest season of Invincible, but that's because I was seeing scenes when it first came out, and it was some kind of, like, parallel world where it was, like, Invincible's a bad guy in this one and working with, like, kills people, and I'm like, that's, like, the plot line for most of it.
Yeah, I heard the comic kind of went off the rails at one point.
I was like, I want more continuation of the story. And I know they kind of get back to it because there is, like, main plotline stuff that I've seen from it. But, like, how many episodes is this evil line that I don't give a fuck about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not going to sit there and just be like, through the whole season.
I guess it kind of comes back because I know something in the comics where, like, Invincible meets that evil version of himself. Like, they have interactions with each other. But I don't really know the details. And I could be wrong on that, too. But I don't know. It's just like...
It's like, Invincible Black.
Don't shoot. You'd think Toei or Funimation would have
gone back and like done something there.
Right.
Hey, Trunks, Yeah, man, we'll pay you for a full fucking day to come in here and record, like, one more word for a sentence,
Or even
please.
when they first recorded it, just put Goku in there. Don't shoot.
I can't believe in the recording
Goku
booth
Black.
they didn't even realize it. For,
That's
like, the
what I mean.
dub recording booth.
Yeah. Wild. Wild.
Or they all just had a great sense of humor. They all laugh in the booth. They're like, should we fix that? No. We'll just scatter all to different jobs after.
Fuck it. But yeah, so
I did see, I'm not sure if it's like a rental thing or if it's just on there now, but I saw one of the like little adverts for Look Back is on there. It said Look Back with the
Prime?
Amazon Prime, yeah.
nice.
I haven't investigated myself, but
Like,
I do see another wave of people saying it's great, so I'm assuming it did hit Prime.
I just haven't had the time this past week to really actually sit down and watch something. Like Deadpool and Wolverine's on Disney Plus, and I haven't watched it yet.
Damn.
Like the day after, so Wednesday of last week, because it was last Tuesday it came on Disney Plus, right? I think.
I actually dropped Disney. Even though it only saved me like $4 or $5 a month. I'm like, that's $4 or $5 a month.
But so it came out, and like whatever day next, my wife was texting me at work about it, and I was like, "You're watching it without me, heathen! How dare you!" So she stopped watching. She said she was only like 4 minutes into it anyway.
Good.
So I was like, all right. But then I kind of feel bad because we haven't watched it since, and she would have watched it that whole day. You know what I mean?
Get on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2.5. She asked me one time at night, but it was like, so already like 8:30, 8:45, and I was like, it's a 2.5 hour movie. By the time we finish it, it's going to be after, like, well past 10, almost 11 o'clock, and I got work tomorrow super early. I ain't trying to, no.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that. So it really has to line up on a weekend day that we watch it.
That's where I watch all my TV at this point.
Basically the same. Sometime, like recently at nights, if I have time, like an hour, I'll watch an episode of Doctor Who.
Nice.
By him sad. I'm on the last season of Matt Smith.
Yeah.
I really like him too.
The workshop battle finally started in Tower of God.
Oh no. I'm surprised you're still watching.
I'm surprised I'm still watching.
Why are you still watching?
Masochism? I don't know.
Are you just the dog that's in the flaming house just saying this is fine?
This is fine. No, I'm not saying this is fine. No, I'm like, we're both like roasting it like the whole way through. The episode started, my partner goes, if I fucking have to hear another person say one of the top E-rank regulars, I might kill myself. And sure enough, that episode.
Oh, jeez.
Is that the strongest E-rank regular? I even looked up too. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've never heard anyone in the comic book mention D, C, B, or A rank regulars. We go from like E rank regulars straight to like rankers. Not in promotion, but in people we deal with.
Yeah, I feel like we go by it quick because Bam goes like really quick from E to B. I remember B being a thing, but
I never hear anyone be one of the top 10 strongest B rank regulars.
You know, it fucked all of that though, right? The train.
Good.
Because we spent so much of the story on that fucking train.
Skipping.
And it was all the same people for the whole thing. And then by the time he comes out, the story has progressed to the point where we're fighting enemies that are like...
And notably, both of the
rankers.
floors you stop at aren't regular areas.
Yeah.
Like, one of them doesn't have any regulars, really. It's all just, like, abandoned hell soul people. And the other one's a fucking virtual game. So, conveniently, both times they stop, they don't have to deal with regulars.
Yeah, and then when they get off the train at the train
It's
stop...
rankers!
It's all rankers. An army of rankers right there waiting for them.
But it, like, suddenly hit me while we were playing Fetch. I'm like, they never really did everything in between. I never have to hear about the top 10 C rank regulars.
There you go. It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Thank God. Killing
I'm surprised we haven't figured out, like, introduced a new level of rankers. They just have rankers and high rankers.
We're the 40 to 30 level rankers.
We do know, like, almost everyone in the top 30.
That's why I'm like, once you really start digging into the whole 100, everyone's going to be introducing themselves with where they are on that list. Oh.
I want to get back on reading that, but I literally never open the Webtoons app.
I was about to say, I do too, but at the same time, I have the ghosts of the anime dragging down my will.
Well, that's unfortunate. It should be like, damn, the comic was so good, let me just, like, drop this anime like my good friend Taibon did and just forget it exists. And
well, it does retroactively make me like the comic less. I'll just...
Why, though? That's not the comic's
fault. That's the same dialogue.
Yeah, but...
That's the comic's fault.
True.
They didn't come up with the top 10 E-rank regulars. It's just like, especially at this pace, that's the problem is, I really have the time to sit here and have to stew in it all. Just sitting there with the world's worst dialogue. If I have to hear another person, I just want to climb. I know, their whole world revolves around it.
World's worst dialogue is a bit of a stretch. Because there's some bad fucking dialogue in the world.
I'll
say it's bad.
The worst dialogue I've experienced in a long time.
Okay, in a long time, yeah. I was like, there's no way it's the worst dialogue ever. I'm sure there's got to be something shit out there that you're just not thinking of because you just blocked it out of your mind.
Pretty fucking bad, man. There's no character moments, really. It's all in service to the plot. It's like all exposition. And not even something I'm learning something. It's, I learn another person wants to climb. Whoa!
I get it. Everyone wants to climb.
Ugh. Also, I need to show you this one dub actor. They're awful, and every time the character comes up on screen, I'm like, no! It's so bad. It's this one I can say with confidence. Worst dub actor I've ever heard.
Definitely not.
It's fucking bad. It's the fire person from that episode with the horrible flame effects.
Oh.
Because they're still in the plot for some reason.
Fuck, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna say it before I say the anime because you would know it instantly. I'm not gonna get it. I have to find the young conductor.
Oh, Bakuno.
Yeah, Bakuno. Yeah, what's his name?
Jacuzzi.
I thought so. I was like, there's no way his name is a jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi Splot.
Yeah. I loathe the voice actor in English for that dude.
Oh, man.
I don't like that character, too, and it sucks because he's got such a baddie, too. It's like, how did you bag that? And you just, you're such a, I just don't like his character.
I doubt I'm going to be able to even get a clip of it. Yeah, no, I'm getting, like, Yu-Gi-Oh clips.
Yu-Gi-Oh clips? Would you search?
I was trying to search this one fucking character's dub in Tower of God. It's so bad. I'm not even joking. It mogs Jacuzzi in badness. I just typed in Tower of Tower.
Alan Walker's voice is pretty bad too on anyone other than Alan Walker.
Yeah. This isn't even like, oh, that doesn't fit. This is just bad. Like, I would get this guy fired if I have the power to. That's how bad it is.
Like,
but no one's watching the season, so no one has a clip of it.
Like, so I'm pretty sure Natsu English dub is the same dude as Alan Walker's.
Yes. Which would fire that casting director, speaking of firing people.
Yes.
No one gives a fuck about this character either.
Man, I really liked Fairy Tail in the beginning too. Just another manga that just went off the deep rails.
It's fine because we've been bringing up Fairy Tail a lot. Me and my partner watching Tower of God.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Just the fact that I'm just like, every time they say something incredibly stupid, I'm like, sorry you're watching this with me. It's like, it's okay. I watched Fairy Tail. I get it.
Hopefully not.
You
all
can
of it.
still like bad things. And no one has it. It's literally the worst voice ever.
Oh, I mean, I've heard it.
It's like a bad voice, and a gimmick. It's so bad.
Gross. Because, like, I like Fairy Tail all the way up until the time skip. I thought the time skip was way too long. And
how they handled that whole tournament arc. I remember you bitching.
I remember. Yeah. The tournament arc right after. Because the only fight that actually made sense was the hype, the big hype one.
Yeah.
Well, there's two fights that made sense. Was when Natsu and Gajeel fight the other two Dragon Slayers. Because before the time skip, they were 7 years old. So it's not like they were the same age, and now it's 7 years later. The main cast Frozen Time come out the same strength, and now they fight someone that has had 7 years to get stronger.
At least they started behind.
They started behind, had to get up, and then that up was just not enough. So I liked that whole fight, and then I liked it too when Natsu decides to solo them, and it's like, oh, like that was cool. And I liked when Loxus takes on his whole dad's guild, because I'm like, all these dudes are fucking.
So that one, I feel like makes less sense than the other one, but it's just so overwhelmingly cool.
Well, yeah, but
it's such a moment.
Yeah, and I'm more like, all these guys are losers anyway, and it's Loxus. So, like, you guys never stood a chance. Like, no matter how, like, you guys could have 20 years of training, I just don't think you would beat Loxus at any point in the story. So just because there's 5 of you, still, it's whatever. But in the anime, it sucked. It was so much cooler in the manga when I read that.
Everything always is.
And then when they did it in the anime, I was just like, damn, it hit harder in the manga. But everything else, like, then when Loxus fights the fucking, well, the dude let him win, but should have got destroyed against Earth Dude, and then just every other fight was just garbage. I'm like, all these people should be way stronger than you now, but you're the main character. You guys got friendship power, so you always got to win. And then they pulled my biggest pet peeve in all of anime and manga. Do not ever death fake out with Mirid in it. Is the quickest way to piss me off. Like, in the sense that, like, not saying, like, okay, we thought Nobara was dead for a while, but at the same time, we're like...
We knew.
But, like, I mean, like, they ended a chapter with Gray dying. Like, just straight up, he's dead. And then some bitch halfway across the area, so no one knew, used all of her life force to rewind time. Like, and all she could get was like 10 seconds or something stupid. And somehow, just for rewinding time, that no one realized time was rewound, by the way. It's not like they had like, oh shit, we get a do-over. It's just like,
no.
It's just like you rewound the tape and played it again, and all of a sudden everything plays out differently just because you rewound time. Like, what?
Literally then, just like the chaos theory of it all.
Yeah, so it was stupid. And then there was a bunch of other things too. It's just like character development meant nothing anymore. There was no stakes. You always knew everyone would always win. And it's just like, I don't know. It was bad. I stayed with it longer than I should have, but because I even went through that whole tournament arc, the little fight after it, and then whatever war arc was next when they start the war against Zareth, and I'm just like, okay,
Romo,
I think I'm done. And
I think you got as far as literally when Natsu's scarf absorbed the death stuff, because I remember you telling me about that. Well, that was
before the time skip.
Okay.
I remember that, and I was just like, that's weird. But it was like a one-time thing, I think. I don't think because it fucked up his scarf. But anyway, from what I hear too, Natsu beats Zareth with literally one punch. And like that is, again, I don't know.
The second coming of Soul Eater.
So that was a bit disappointing to me. But it's okay, because I dropped it, and I'm not going back, so.
Sorry, I'm fucking... Google AI is telling me that Johnny Young Bosch is the person that voiced this motherfucker. But I can't find the accreditation to prove it.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Because he is already in the cast doing BAM. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched. They're like, hey, we need you for this really shitty small role. Just put on a voice, man. It's like, okay. And that's the fucking voice. I just nailed that shit. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I'm on a tirade. I will remove him from the industry if that's what it takes. I'm sorry, Johnny. Your time has come and gone.
Sadness.
I hope it's a lie. It is Google AI. I'm just going to write it off as a lie. My man would not be caught dead like that.
Well, we can only hope.
My goat, Lelouch, would never.
Yes, Lelouch.
Yes. And only him.
And only him. I know they cast in that I love him for Lelouch, but despise him for Ichigo.
I don't hate him for Ichigo.
I just don't think it fits. But again, that's like me saying that, like...
I feel like the gulf is at least less than Alan Walker and Natsu.
Well, because it's actually the perfect, like, the perfect trifecta for me with the big three is I love all three of their Japanese voice actors, right? Because I watch it all in Japanese. For Ichigo, I can't do the English at all for Ichigo. I love Johnny, but I just can't do it. It's just not for me. It just doesn't fit. Luffy's is alright. I'm like, it's okay. It kind of fits. I can kind of see it, but the Japanese is better. And then I've said it plenty of times, and I'll stick to it. I swear to God, in my brain cells, the Naruto English VA is literally just the Japanese VA speaking English.
I feel like it's like this weird like smokiness to Naruto's voice, especially younger. It's like kind of raspy.
I don't know why, but they just
believe it.
They just. I could be smoking crack, but to me, like other people could be like, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" But for me, they just seem so.
There's something that
similar, and they nail it. So. I'm okay. If Naruto's talking in a clip, if it's English or Japanese, it's the same to me. If it's Luffy talking in English or Japanese, I would much prefer the Japanese, but the English, I could stomach it. In Ichigo's case, I will click off whatever video it is instantly if it's English.
English only for me, for all of them.
I'm just like, no, I can't.
If I want to see some action, I got my Johnny Young Bosch attraction.
No, I'm just the fucking eyes and finger that just stops. That's what I do. And I mean, they need to 100. Oh, real quick side note too. I fucking love it anytime Turbo Granny speaks and like, "What's up, Luffy?"
No,
because it's Luffy's VA.
I'm still watching in English.
For the One Piece, they absolutely 1,000,000% need new VAs for everybody. Because one, do not do that to the original One Piece VAs. They work too hard as it is anyway. Literally anything One Piece that comes out, they're doing and all that stuff. And they're all ancient. One Frankie's VA that's part of one of the breaks things too, because they put off an episode or whatever because of he's having some issues.
Yeah.
I think he's 81.
Oh my God.
Oh no. 81 is Dragon's VA. He's 70 something, early 70s. Luffy's VA is in her 60s. And then I think the youngest one is Nami. I think she's the youngest VA, and she's still, I believe, in her 40s. They're all... Because you gotta think they've all been doing it since...
Yeah. Well, she's at least the English of the people they need to keep, like, on retainer.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
So I'm sure there's some, like, new arc-specific characters that they can grab, like, a younger person for.
Yeah. Because you gotta think, they've all been doing it for... Oh, and Jinbei's VA, too. He's also very old.
Especially if the One Piece wants to last more than one, like, arc, then they definitely should consider... Plus, it's being done by a whole new studio, so it probably wouldn't be that jarring.
That's another thing I wonder, too, because I actually don't know. If you were to... Because I would assume they have a Japanese dubbed Netflix live action. So you think they get the VA from the anime to dub over the voices?
Probably. I think they literally do.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah. I feel like that could lead to being a little jarring, but I wouldn't know. It's not even my native tongue.
Yeah. Because you gotta think, these guys have been doing an episode of One Piece forever, every week. Yeah. And then on top of all of that, recordings for video games,
visual novels, anything really.
Yeah. Promotional shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like, they get a break because the anime is...
By the way, we're going to be making another anime and live action. You think we can make a movie? We might do movies, live action and animated.
Yeah, and then all of those, like the episode of East Blue and Skypiea and Alabasta and all those things. And now this redo of...
I was about to say, too, it's like, we're taking a break from the anime. Oh, thank God. To remake more anime, we still need you.
I actually haven't watched it yet, just because I again, haven't had time. But I watched a video of it from a One Piece content creator, and I guess the pacing is too fast. And they're like...
Yeah, but I see people say that about new episodes now, too.
He even said it. He's like, before you drop down my throat...
I was just about to.
A One Piece watcher saying pacing's too fast. But I guess they're going so fast that they're skipping content that was in the manga. So I'm like... Because I felt like there's certain parts of like the episodes of Bleach that I'm like, this is going by really fast, but at the same time it's like, they're not skipping anything. They're just not
letting it
air out or putting any kind of filler buffs in there.
Or establishing shots, not for the usual environmental ones, but for character ones where pan the character's face just really quick.
Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. But again, I haven't watched it, so I don't actually know. I'll check it out eventually. But mostly because the Fishman Island arc isn't the most exciting arc anyway, so.
It's very consistently complained about.
Well.
From my outside perspective.
It also has a very unfortunate placement.
We talked about this.
Yeah. Coming off the tails of Marineford.
Yeah.
And also being hyped up since before Marineford started. Because that's where they were going next. They're like, we're going to Fishman Island. This is cool. And then everything, when they're at Sabaody to go to there, they're like, no, now we're going to Amazon Lily. Now we're going to fucking Impel Down. Now we're going to Marineford. And then you do the whole Marineford shit. Then you have a Luffy Ace Sabo flashback. Then there's a break. Then you come back. You meet all of the new characters. You're all super hyped. You haven't seen the Straw Hats. And then you go to Fishman Island. And it's just not... It's not terrible. It's just not as good. You know what I mean? It's just... And then also, this is... You have to try and make it seem like Luffy has to struggle against the villain. And the only way to do that is the water element. Because otherwise, the Straw Hats face 0 challenges in fights on Fishman Island. Everything Luffy does to this dude almost one-shot KOs him, except he's constantly just eating drugs that are just pumping him up. It's just like he's got fucking steroid adrenaline pills that he just keeps eating to come back. But if you didn't have those, any one of these attacks would have just ended you immediately. And then the water shit. But again, so I don't know. And I can't say that sandwich because the next one is Punk Hazard, which is better than Fishman Island. But also, Punk Hazard suffers from, the shit that they sprinkle in it. The side stuff. They're like, ooh, look at this cool thing over here. There's a lot of awesome in that. But then, the main stuff, you're just like, meh. But that awesome stuff that's just flashed or left ambiguous, that stuff's awesome. You know what I mean? But main stuff, meh. But then you go into Dressrosa and you're like, this is lit. Zoe, this is lit. Whole Cake, this is lit. Wano. Just those first 2 arcs are meh. But and Oda's sick right now too again.
Brutal.
Which scared the fuck out of me because it came out of nowhere.
So is the Wild Strawberry author.
I saw that. Yeah. Point 1 chapter saying that for illness.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh no, like what happened? But then even in the chapter he's like, I'm starting to feel better. I'm like, yes, another sickness.
But they didn't specify what was up with Oda, and it's like, don't get your rest, man. But just don't scare me like that. Let this dude rest. No. Get him the best. I think he does too, because they have him. I could have sworn somewhere I read somewhere that Shueisha and Jump have him on like a diet plan and a workout routine that he.
I just imagine like there's like 20 people there. And with a coordinator all, like, supporting Oda. And then you flash to Takashi, and he's just, like, crippled over his easel, drawing by himself. Wife urging him to go to bed.
But at the same time, we know Oda has gout. He's had 2 or 3 eye surgeries. And he's getting old. And... there's something else. So it's just like, he only gets 4 hours of sleep every night.
Jesus.
So I'm like, sleep is extraordinarily important. And for like people like Oda and the 2 of us, because we also both have shit sleep schedules. But like,
I slept like 2 hours today.
I actually think I got it 6 today.
Well, I had to read all of my manga today, so...
Yeah, I went to bed at like 6:30, 6:45, which means I probably fell asleep by 10. And usual wake-up time for me is 3. No, 4. So, I got 6 hours last night. Usually it's about 5.
2.
But like, the longer you go in that sense, like for me... I've been doing that 5-hour routine for about a year now. To try and switch to say, you need to get 8 hours. It's like, it's too much sleep for me. Because like, if I get 8 hours of sleep, right, when I wake up, I feel like ass. Like, I feel way better when I get 5 hours of sleep. I'll wake up, I'm tired for that first hour. But once I get into my day and I'm going, I'm good.
Can't relate.
The 8 hours... I get up, I just feel like my whole body's stiff. Sometimes I I'll get my mouth is all dry and shit. My face, my nose and eyes is all dry, and I just felt like I slept for like 20 hours, and I'm just like, I'm like feel like a zombie walking around, and it just takes me forever to get out of that. If I get like the normal 8 hours, so my perfect sleep for me. For it to be like 100% is somewhere between like 6.5, 7 hours.
Nice.
That's like my 100% peak performance. But I never get that because during the week I get 5 hours of sleep, and then on the weekends I get like 9, and then I just wake up feeling like death. Like I said every day, I'm like too much sleep, and then I get mad at myself because just like back in the day when I used to stay up on the weekends till like 3, 4 in the morning before kids, and would wake up at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I'd be so mad because I'd be like, my whole day's gone. What the shit? But anyway,
that's sleep.
That's sleep. That thing we don't get. Fuck it.
Yep.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yep.
There's probably some sleepologist, whatever the fuck they're called, probably listening to this, and they'll be like, yeah, you'll sleep when you're dead. 3 years from now. But whatever. I'll be okay. You won't be, though. You need to get more than 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it was just a busy day.
It happens.
Yeah. take care of the dog, read all my manga.
I've been trying to spread out the manga more, which I've been successful at the last 2 weeks.
I haven't been. I literally every single chapter I had to read, I read today, after work. Not even at work, after.
So, like, Sundays is my main read, because that's when most of the stuff comes out.
Yeah.
But, like, Dandadan isn't on until Tuesdays. I'll read Chainsaw Man the day it comes out. And then, like, some of, like, the big stuff, like, if we're reading Magi that week, or Sakamoto, or something, or we're reading, like, 5 chapters, I won't read that the same day that I'm reading, like, KaguraBachi and Wild Strawberry Astro Baby and all those stuff. I'll read all the 1-chapter stuff in a day, no problem. I'm not reading all the 1-chapter stuff and then a 5-chapter one on top of it. I gotta spread it out a bit.
I pulled up the recliner, and got that shit leaning back, and just read.
The only thing I didn't read, but I don't think we even talked about it, was I didn't read any Sakamoto.
No, okay. You're fine. I do think you owe me 2.
No, I think I read the 2 that you had that time, but didn't read the Magi. Like,
that would make sense.
I am on 68. I've read 68.
Yep.
So we're caught up to each other.
Yes.
Good. Fantastic. But in other news, what do you think of Dandadan's newest episode?
Oh, I cried. Straight up. Like, A, really good. But B, like, the moment the flashback started, I already got, like, those, like, little light breaths in my lungs being like, oh, no. Like, getting a little emotional.
I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot all the details of Silky's thing, so it was all, like, a fresh new thing for me. So I was like, this is, depressing, but my heartless soul doesn't cry at anything, so. I wonder if I didn't ask my wife. I don't know if she actually watched it yet, to be honest with you.
I was bawling by the end of it.
I loved the cinematic decision of, well, first off, it might have been the same way in the manga, but to have most of the story be told just with visuals and like, I love when they do that, like, correctly. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
some banging music and just show, don't tell.
Yeah, and it's super depressing. But
like, as she's jumping off the building, I was crying, and then the moment Ira's...
See, you say that, and I've been thinking about it, like, constantly. I was like, when did... I remember her... When she, like... Was that, like, after she runs after the car or something?
Yeah. The whole dance scene is supposed to be on top of a building.
Oh, okay, yeah, see? That'd be why. Because it looked like it was just on a lake.
Oh, my God. I just had the page.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
And then she leaps right off.
I mean, I don't blame her.
Me neither.
I'd probably do the same thing.
I like how I opened this search and it's like a fucking montage of all the sad backstories. I see Zuma here. I see... Yeah. Oh, there we go, finally. And so was my only complaint is they didn't make it obvious enough that that's what she was doing. But that's a small complaint.
You know, it's also more depressing to think about for the whole situation. You don't actually ever find out what happens to that kid.
My partner asked me if we do. I didn't have the heart to, like, keep it ambiguous. I'm like,
never. But so you basically, because it's like you can tell from the backgrounds of the story that she was selling herself for these people, and then I guess she owed them money probably, because that's.
So the saddest part is they probably aren't going to show us it because it probably didn't end happy for the kid either.
No, so they probably used her to either sell her or get the money back somehow. Yeah. So she was abused, unfortunately.
Yeah. The first of many heartbreaking Dandadan backstories.
I think Zuma's got the worst.
I also think Zuma's got the worst. It's pretty fucking rough.
That one's a rough one.
The Evil Eye is also kind of sad. Not nearly as sad. It's like a passive cruelty.
Well, because the Evil Eye is kind of like you just feel pity for him because it's like circumstances, yes, but at the same time, how you turned out.
Yeah, but did he turn out like that because he was locked in a room, like starving and dehydrated?
Yeah, but
he just wanted to play with the kids he saw out the window.
Yeah, but then he, starts murdering them.
The little kids?
Yeah, doesn't he kill all those people?
I don't think he does, unless it's after all of the cruelty he's endured.
That's what I mean. It's like, yeah, you endured cruelty and all that, but it's like...
Do I blame the child, or do I blame the people that locked him up in a room and didn't feed him or give him water?
Yeah, but if you found out that Ted Bundy was fucking abused when he was a child, would you say that...
I'd blame his parents, depending on how horrific the abuse is. If Ted Bundy was locked in a room with no food or water for, months and told that he was evil, how much do I blame him for turning out evil? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point.
I guess, but it doesn't exonerate them.
It doesn't exonerate them, but I'd put them all in prison.
Valma's also got a sad one, but hers kind of ends happy. So it's like what hers, Valma's is more of like a roller coaster.
I was just rereading it. Okay, I would just actually need to see that in the manga again.
Evil Eye?
Yeah. It said it was showing him being empathetic to someone, and another kid was going to be used as a sacrifice and he couldn't help him, and from that point on he was evil.
Next episode is fucking Loch Ness.
Yes. There'll probably a lot of build up in the actual pistol shrimp and aliens first before they unveil Nessie.
Which means I think that we're right where we're gonna get one episode of Gigi.
Yeah, probably.
Because there's 5 left.
Yeah,
so probably
one.
Two on Loch Ness, 2 on the thing.
Probably end on the cliffhanger that they're going to Gigi's hometown.
Oh, please don't. I need to see Gigi on screen.
Well, we'll see Gigi. I'm saying
oh yeah,
because
he comes and meets them at.
I was thinking of what's a good way to end it then.
The worst part is going to be when it ends, waiting for season 2.
Yeah.
Because just as well I do, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 years.
Depending, because again, if there is a Core 2 next year, then we're just waiting until next year.
Oh yeah, because you mentioned that Core 2, right?
Again, unsubstantiated Twitter news.
Well, but then after that, it's probably going to be 3
yes.
Because we waited 4 years for JJK. It's just the new, any top line.
That's what it takes, yeah.
Quality, it takes, which sucks. But
though to be fair, Science Star takes on less work than a lot of other studios that we watch a lot of stuff from. Mm-hmm. Mappa takes forever because Mappa overloads on work. Dandadan's the only thing Science Star is doing right now. We could maybe look at 2 years. Maybe. Hypothetically. I was just wondering, too, what the fuck is Mappa doing? We've had a season now without any Mappa stuff. Or Mappa news. We still don't know when Chainsaw Man's coming, Hell's Paradise. Obviously, JJK's not going to be for a while, but I'm throwing it on the list because it's Mappa. Dodo Hey Dodo.
Unless they're just hammering down and polishing off the Chainsaw Man movie.
The conveyor belt halted.
Yeah.
That's the wild thing is how long ago it was been at least a year now since they announced that movie. And we don't even have an inkling of a season or a year.
Or anything on...
Or Vinland. Vinland's the 5th one.
Oh, yes. Yeah. They're done with the fucking Attack on Titan stuff, so they're not.
So what's going on, Mappa? Not to whip your animators. It's just it seemed you put in a lot of work getting all these properties, and now your whole pipeline's slowing down.
Someone left the gates unlocked when they left for the night, and all the animators escaped.
They're free. Scatter.
Animator controllers out looking for him.
Since our fucking applications went up 300%.
That's hilarious. But yeah, no, the episode was just amazing.
Yes. I will say the first episode with Silky, I wasn't really sold on her model, but looked a lot better in the second episode with her.
Yeah, it was more creepy in the manga, I remember, but
There's just something about the way the model was. It's not a huge deal. It's just a little stiff.
Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, but again, it looked better in this episode, in my opinion.
Well,
the head looked less weird.
Also, you got to think too. Yuki Nobutatsu's fucking.
Oh yeah, I knew a lot of these things would be CGI. I knew it. Like Loch Ness will be. There's no way you're gonna make that move the way you need it to move, without it being.
Well, you could do it.
You could.
It's just going to take a lot more time, effort, and money.
Just be another year.
You think they leave the endings with no spoilers? Just saying, you think they leave the ending scene of the Loch Ness in?
Probably. They haven't changed anything else.
Just that one's like at the top of the list of things.
Guess they're just on top of each other naked. It's more embarrassing than anything.
I said no spoilers.
Oh, please.
It's okay, we were just spoiling everything for Dandadan. Sorry, people.
They still don't know who. And they'll be wrong when they guess. Well, I'm not giving away the answer. So
No,
I was about to give like more hintage.
But Bleach was good. We already talked about it off the podcast, but I really liked it because it was a fight that wasn't in the manga, and it really got to showcase Renji's full Bankai potential. But I still am salty that he lost this fight because I think he should be stronger than Uryu at this point.
But he's Renji.
He's Renji, so as soon as
cursed at birth to always lose.
And it's just anything that Uryu is doing just pisses me off because I know what he's doing. Spoilers for anyone that's lived under a rock and doesn't know the plot to 1,000 Year Blood War. But
which genuinely some people probably won't.
Probably, you're correct. So spoiler warning for future of 1,000 Year Blood War of Bleach. Incoming now. Uryu is pretending.
Yeah.
He's double agent, and nobody knows. It's just him. He took on the burden of being a double agent for himself to get close to Yuha. I actually don't know what his plan is. Uryu,
just to be close to Yuha.
Because he doesn't have a plan at all. Later he'll fight Hashfault, and then somewhere at the end of that, after Ichigo's already like got his Bankai broken and all that shit, and then
in the future,
and then him and Renji chase Yuha back to Soul Society. So Uryu is just stuck behind after fighting someone. He's like beat up, and then fucking Ryukin, his dad, shows up and shoots a silver arrow next to him. He's like, "Yo, go shoot Yuha with that. I made it out of stuff I pulled out of your mother's dead body like 15 years ago."
God, I would love to. I need to get on making like funny anime edits someday. So just imagine that. Yo, shoot him with that. Why don't you shoot him with that? Oh.
I know, because it's like that was one of the big disappointments back in the day too. Was that Ryukin's such a badass character, and we never got to really know anything about him. And they're like, "Oh shit, a Quincy arc. We're gonna see more Ryukin," and that's the only thing we see of Ryukin. There is more Ryukin in an episode and sees in the first part of 1,000 Year Blood War, the first 4, than the entire manga. Because he wasn't even in the manga at all until the very end. When he literally shows up, it's for 2 pages. He shoots the fucking arrow next to Uryu, and he's like, yo, take that, go shoot Yuha with it. And then there's a singular panel that it shows of Uryu as a child looking in like because his dad's a doctor, so he looks in his laboratory of his dad working on his mother's dead body.
Ooh.
Because he's a scientist. He went in there and he found the essence of whatever power Yuha used to kill all the Quincy's, to steal all their powers. That's what killed all of them except for Ryukin and Ishita. So he uses whatever that substance is to forge whatever this silver arrow is. And Ishida then follows them, and he shoots Yuha from behind. So somehow it bypasses the Almighty somehow, or whatever, or seals it temporarily, so that Ichigo can get a final hit in. But without that silver arrow, what the fuck was Uryu's plan?
He's got that part last minute.
Yeah, so it's like...
Also, thank God they added that Ryukin scenes in the first core.
Well, because
with him like telling Uryu like what's up with Yuha.
Yeah, and also you see that one panel I just told you about. They took that from that scene and they put it.
Oh, beautiful!
In the first core.
Beautiful.
It's in that. So we're praying that Ryukin gets more when he comes back into the story.
Like they insert him into like a combat role into that scene where he was supposed to give him the arrow.
Yeah, or just do something.
Anything. A character moment there.
Yes.
More than 2 sentences.
Please.
Hey son, doing that avenging thing, huh? Leave, Dad. Okay.
Because it's like, yeah, you could argue, Uryu is stronger now because he has a Volstein.
German word.
German word that starts with Volstein-gish or whatever. But then it's like, okay, yeah, but Renji just trained with the fucking Squad-Zero and got, like, Super Bankai. And is, like, way stronger now.
So wait, the Quincy's definitely use German as their, like, thematic language, right?
Yeah.
That motherfucker, how dare they invalidate the Bount arc?
Oh.
There's the one thing they had!
But to be fair, Uryu was first, and everything Uryu did prior to that was also
okay.
German too.
So they should have made the Bounce Russian.
Like,
damn.
Lichtoreden.
Yeah.
His main thing. It's all of Uryu's abilities have always been German based.
Okay, it's the Bounce fault then, not the Quincy's.
Yes.
Okay.
But
it like just suddenly hit me. I'm like, German.
But then it's also like, so like he's like, after he defeats Renji, which I'm also like, okay, so how is Renji gonna join Ichigo now? Because
tis only a flesh wound to Renji.
He's
had many of those.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. He put a hole like the size of a fist right through the center of his chest.
He'll be back. There's one thing Renji's good at, it's taking damage.
It's true. But he dished it. Well, we think it is, because then at the end, Ryu's just kind of standing there and he looks fine. And I'm like, dude. Renji
at least give him some battle damage for my boy Renji.
Because, like, that was literally, like... I'll look it up and I'll send you the clip, like, of that fight. Because I'm sure there's a condensed one of, like... Because kind of cuts away a little bit and then there's some talking. But I'm sure there's a clip of just the fight in.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, it does Renji, like, really good in the light. I know you don't, but... You'll watch this and you'll be like, wow, that was fucking dope.
Oh, yeah, I think it's cool.
I mean, whether you like Renji or not. But... I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of him either, but I think that he deserves a moment, and I think this should have been it. Because
that's the problem with Renji's, is they always deserve a moment.
Yeah.
Piccolo deserves a moment. And they realize that so late that they're like, shit, let's give him a whole movie to give him a moment.
True. But fucking... Uryu I just like the things he's saying too. It's just like he's doing a very good job at acting to make you hate him.
Well, he's always been a hateable prick.
Yeah, true. I mean, he's VA.
He's such to be himself. So yeah.
It's in VA Sasuke, so the emo is transferable.
Can't scrub off the emo.
No. But I just want Uryu to get slapped in the face. Oh, and what he said, too, when he's saying at the end, because he says, after he beats Renji, he says, there's 3 reasons why you lost, type deal. And he says, reason 1 is because he hesitated. I forget, actually, all 3 of them. Because it's like 2 or 1. He's hesitated, didn't really want to kill him, and there's and the third one was just because he's Shinigami scum or whatever, basically. But I'm sitting there, like, the first ones, I'm like, yo, how lit would it be if Byakuya just was like, yo, I would...
Pulled the classic Bleach, I'm behind you suddenly moment, and
or no,
shocked.
just there, just, like, arrives there, because right now, the two of them are the only two people actually fighting, so everybody knows that they're fighting, and everyone knows where they're fighting, especially with the explosions they're giving off. So I'm like, okay, Byakuya shows up and is like, because I was just thinking, I was like, Byakuya is the exact opposite of everything you just said. He would not hesitate to kill you, and no part of him wouldn't want to kill you, especially after you just tried killing his vice captain or lieutenant or whatever. And I'm like, but I know that's not going to happen because Ryu needs to now go fight Hashfault at some point, and Hashfault's the one that's going to beat his ass. Kind of. They kind of beat each other's ass.
I'm just trying to find Kubo's favorite layout. I'm suddenly behind you.
Oh, yeah, where it's just like surprise Pikachu face and
yeah.
someone's right behind you. It does happen.
He loves that.
He does.
He loves that.
Yep. Well, they really do.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of collages of this. God, I wish I could find more. Damn it.
Well, at least the where did I just see it? The Ichigo. This one at least. This is just that Grimmjow stood back up when he was walking away. That wasn't. I'm suddenly behind you. It's like, bitch, this fight ain't over. Ugh, I had hoped and prayed that they changed it, but they didn't. Grimmjow still got done dirty in this episode like he did in the manga.
Brutal. Because
he's chasing this dude. And I'm like, this is like the perfect thing too in the manga that Kubo sets certain like things up or says certain things. You'd be like, oh, that's really cool, but then like they don't really pan out anywhere. Because
I can't let this character be too cool.
No, in the sense, what I'm saying is because he specifies in like the world of how things go, hollows and Quincy's are kind of like polar opposites in a sense. So when a Quincy kills a hollow, it's erasing it. Whereas if a Shinigami kills a hollow, the soul is purified and sent back to Soul Society. And the cycle of souls continues through Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, the world we live in. The cycle continues. Yeah. The Quincy severs that cycle, and it's just gone. But then also, a hollow's powers is poison to Quincy's. So they're, you know what I mean? If Quincy kills a hollow, dead forever, but a hollow's power is supposed to be super effective against Quincy's. But then it's like...
Until it's time for Grimmjow to shine.
Or until it's time for just the Quincy arc and they invade Hueco Mundo first.
And annihilate.
Granted, there was only 3 people in all of Hueco Mundo at the time that could have done anything. And Grimmjow was one of them, and he just kind of just didn't give a fuck. He was off doing his own thing. And so is Nell also doing her own thing. So it was just Harabelle, and Harabelle's not doing anything to Yuha. Because it shows that Yuha is the one that fucked her up.
I was about to say. But to everyone under him, though.
So if you're just talking regular Ronkars and fucking regular-ass Hollows ain't doing shit to the Stern Raider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just any of the named Quincy's. But Grimmjow's fighting this dude. Or chasing him. The dude's scared and just running away. And he grabs a little, like, bomb thingy looking thing at him and just says, here, catch, to Grimmjow. And Grimmjow's like, I'm not going to fall for that, and smacks it away. But then it's a poison power. And he just hits him in the face, and he's just laying down on the ground. Paralyzed, can't move.
What, Chewie? Where's Boba Fett?
Yeah.
That's exactly what that reminded me of.
Because Grimmjow really only does 2 things. He one-shots Kurige, the jail, kind of semi-off-screen. Like, we know it's him, but we don't know it's him type deal. Yeah. Because the manga doesn't show his face, so we're not supposed to know who he is. Yeah,
it's building the intrigue.
Yeah, but you're like, it's clearly Grimmjow. And then he one-shots one of the Stern Ritter later, after the one that Kisuke and Yodorichi fight.
Damn.
They do something to distract him with Kisuke's Bankai and stuff like that, and then to end it, they had used Grimmjow, and he just like surprise Pikachu face behind you, but instead it's right. Yeah, oh, you know, yeah, right.
I saw your hand go.
Oh yeah, he puts his hand right through him.
I know an ego crawl.
Takes his fucking heart rate out through his chest from the back.
Nice.
Just, I have your heart in your hand. Look at it. Now it's crushed and you're dead. That's all he does the whole thing. I'm like, damn, you didn't get to see. He does like a half resurrection where he just transforms his hands and feet.
I mean, that's so cool. At least they didn't Renji him.
Yeah, but what I wanted to see what Grimmjow's like. Even Kubo stated in it that Grimmjow's stronger than because he's had training. He's now stronger than the other Espada were.
Yeah. Back
in the other arc. So it's like I kind of wanted to see like that power in the works. He's still alive out there too in the story. He's not dead. He doesn't die.
I do have a bone to pick with the miracle panacea that is he just trained with all the shonen though. Who did you train with? Who got you stronger, Grimmjow?
Well,
did you get stronger than all of the other Espada with a punching bag?
Well, too, with hollows, they get stronger just by eating things.
Who do you eat?
Other hollows. That's all hollows eat.
Okay.
Hollows. That's how you
and
become
living souls.
Oh, yes. Well, technically, a hollow is a living soul.
Yeah, but
yes.
So they just cannibalize Huecamundo?
Yeah, but I would also think that Grimmjow's not stupid enough, because first off, I don't know, again, Bleach lore, very confusing. Mm-hmm. What would give you stronger power? Eating like a Menos Grande, or go into the world of the living and eating a regular-ass soul?
I feel I have no evidence for this, but I feel like the latter, but I have no evidence for that. It's literally
I feel like
headcanon.
It would be the strong amalgamation of souls that is a Menos Grande. But at the same time, too...
Did it get there by eating those pure souls?
It's the safer bet, too, because then if Grimmjow's existence in the human world is not going to go unnoticed by Soul Society.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to risk coming to the world of the living to then have a fucking, like, squad of captains on his ass just because he wanted a fresh soul when he has an entire dimension to just have free reign. No one can stop him.
That's what I mean with, like, I need to see that training.
Well, too, it's 3 years is
still
the difference between from Aizen to
the thing with training and becoming stronger and surpassing your limits is you have to approach those limits somehow.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Grimmjow's not doing that alone.
Yeah, no. Well, again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Take it up with
Yeah.
yeah.
You could easily just write in, Harabelle was there. Bye.
Yeah, but Grimmjow's a loner, too. He's not going to train with Harabelle.
Well, the Harabelle also looks kind of like a loner from the pictures I remember seeing of her.
Well, she's like the de facto ruler of Las Noches now. So.
Yeah, but they're all edgy assholes and loners. Stark wasn't exactly going around finger gunning all the boys.
That was his whole thing too, though. Stark was that he was a loner.
So, I can see Harabelle being like, "Throw away your pride. We do this for the good of Hollows."
Well, if anything, it would have been Nell.
Because
they're together.
So there, we got it. We got there.
But I would definitely say that fucking Grimmjow would win that fight.
That's why I kind of defaulted to Harabelle. I felt like she'd actually like push Grimmjow.
Well, because,
or maybe both. Maybe they just double teamed Grimmjow and be like, "Get stronger, bitch. Get strong."
Because Nell was the previous three.
Yeah.
But then Northra fucked her up, turned her into a kid, and then Harabelle replaced her as 3.
Fucking anime.
Yeah, no. Like, split her.
You could have done anything else, but
yeah, turned her into a child.
This is why I'll never respect lolly enjoyers.
Same. I think it was more that Kubo introduced
I think he wants some
intrigue.
Yeah.
Because they introduced her and those I don't remember their names. Those other two hollows that were running with her, because he wanted to try and humanize hollows through those characters.
And it worked. Like,
it did.
In practice, he did a very good job.
But then as the
and his lolly's
later,
not sexualized,
yes.
to be clear, too. Walla lolly? No.
Well, not her, but the Liliet is the counterpart to Stark.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We can take that star off the board. You're right.
There's some other ones that are
I won't demerit him, but we'll take that off the board.
But because it's only her, too.
At least Yachiru's in full clothes, too. We're putting his little star back on.
But then you got to think because Kubo's totally on the opposite end of the spectrum for most, like, because it's like, Kubo is the JoJo's of ecchi in the sense that all of his characters are 16 years old, but they look like they're 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like Orihime when you meet her. Well, then Orihime's character development is all in the chest. But she's like 19, 20 years old in current timeline, 1,000-Year Blood War arc.
Yeah.
But then
that's what she looks like in high school. Is 20 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
Ichigo's the biggest discrepancy. Ichigo and Chad.
No,
they're both grown-ass men.
Yeah, Chad.
Ichigo's not 14 when the series starts. Is it 14 or is it 16?
16.
He's not 16 when the series starts.
Maybe even 15. Yeah, no, he looks like 20,
That's
22.
a full man.
20, 22 range. And I'd say now he looks like he's like...
Is he already
26.
like his dad's height or taller?
He's always been a little taller than Ishin.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean...
It's not unrealistic to real life to grow bigger than your father. But it just looks wacky.
When I was in elementary school, there's this kid named Jamie that was in elementary school with me. And he was legit the dude from Spy Family, the dodgeball.
the actual grown ass looking man.
Yeah, this dude was like.
Not even boy features in the page.
I saw him. He became a bouncer at a club. I saw him actually 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't say hi to him. I could just tell it was him. I was like, you haven't grown this. An inch since the last time I seen you. So it's like he just grew all of his height while
he became a man and stayed a man.
Stayed there. He was always double everyone's height. You know what I mean?
Huh.
So he's probably. I mean, he's still tall. He's taller than me.
Yeah.
But in elementary school, you look at that dude and you're like, "Yo, that's a fucking high schooler. What the fuck's he doing with 4 years?"
That's an adult.
Yeah. He's just missing a beard. That's it. But yeah, no, fucking... At least with Kubo, all of his ecchi is directed at large booba and all of the characters.
And a couple fat ass shots, because God of Thunder.
Yeah.
I think literally every good ass shot is Yoruichi or Soifun.
They did Soifun justice in 1,000-Year Blood War. Because they put her manga accurate clothing on, and I'm just like...
Nice.
Mwah.
Did she get justice in a choreography way too?
No, never.
I know, that's so sad.
She's worse than
I love
Renji.
Soifun.
I do too, but she just
never gets the limelight.
Perpetual L's.
Yes. She had one really good fight when she first fought Yoruichi way back in the day.
And that was it.
That was it. Because that's an understandable loss. It's literally your mentor. So I'm not going to fault you for that one. So pop off, girl.
But then
then everything after that is
twofold too, because not only is he a mentor, so she taught you everything you know, but also she's your love interest, so you're not actually gonna want.
Yeah, you're all because that's absolutely true too.
Oh, it's 1,000,000,000% true.
Oh, do they fully say it outright?
It is as canon as canon.
It's the Yuri on Ice thing where it's so goddamn close.
She can't. Ever since that, when they fought in Soul Society arc, and now that Yoruichi's kind of there a lot of the times, anytime Yoruichi and Soifun are in a room, Soifun can't look at her in the eye and is blushing. Every time. And all she ever thinks about is Yoruichi.
Oh, it's the Shonen Bros thing. I'm not gay, but my entire life's purpose is this man that I'm friends with.
And
don't worry, bro. You're my son. Not in a gay way, though.
And in another small credit to Kubo on his sexualization of women in his manga, all of them are actually of age, except for, you could argue, Orihime and...
But at least with Orihime, she's almost always in full clothing. She's got enormous tits, yeah.
Except for 1,000 Year Blood War, but at that time she's 20 years old.
Yeah,
so she
free game.
Because when you
but like in school, she was always in a button up. In fucking Soul Society arc, they probably threw her in one of those fucking gis eventually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's almost always fully clothed.
So, and
it's even funny because the jokes about her boobies aren't ever like panning shot to right above them. It's always someone just being like, "Oh, those, you could probably choke someone with those," and she's like, "Oh, really?" Gives them like a couple quick bounces from far away, and that's it.
You say that, but you haven't seen the main one that happens in Court 2.
Yeah, she's an adult now. It's fine.
Yeah, it's worse in the manga because there's also another. They removed the scene of Rukia in Core 1. Rukia's butt was in the manga. Because remember, you saw Core 1 when they took those, like, the hot spring baths or whatever?
Yeah.
When Ichiko was in one of the baths one time, the dude threw Rukia in there and she was naked and her complete ass was... It was like...
okay, that's pretty obvious.
It was like a gag, though. It's just like...
Yeah.
Her face was there and she was like... all like passed out. She had like the X's on her eyes, but her straight up ass was just sticking out of the water as she floated by, and Ichigo was all doing the like. Ah!
I just thought of the fucking Scamp Bully video. No, girls' boobies. No, I can't.
But because I'm gonna look up a picture of what Orihime looks like right now, and you're gonna be like, holy shit.
Yeah, isn't there like an opening here now?
Oh yeah, it's complete. Let's see. Bleach. Straight from the manga.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's even more opening then. Yeah.
And so oh, here's the exact panel. Yoruichi's hand sticking right through it because she's blushing because Ichigo's right there. First time she's like, he's seeing her in this outfit, and Yoruichi gets angry, yelling at Ichigo, saying that a girl is wearing this for you and sticking her hand in there and just basically
taking advantage of her.
Assaulting Orihime while Ichigo's just like right there, like doing Ichigo's basic, he always freaks out with shit like
girls!
That. But he always looks too, kind of like, I don't know if you remember in the original anime, when everyone comes to the World of the Living after Soul Society arc, and they're all in Ichigo's room. Do you remember that? You got fucking Matsumoto,
yeah.
Itsugaya, the bald dude in Yamachika. They're all in this thing.
Ikaku,
yeah. I couldn't remember. And he kicks all of them out. He's like, you can't stay here. But Matsumoto tries being like, even me, and she's like, she starts unbuttoning her shirt. He's like, no, not even with that. She's like, then why? Ruki's even like, why are you looking? Because he's got the fingers open. And then she tries lifting up his shirt, trying to fucking grab him. And he's trying to be all modest, but he still looks. Just like when Yoruichi tried bathing with him the first time. When we meet Yoruichi as a human form.
Yeah.
Even he's just like, no, but he always
can't pass up that chance.
No. Because he's a man, and that's how we would all, well, not we all.
Ha 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 ha.
How we
I activated my trap card. Gay.
Alright, but you would do the same thing if it was like Byakuya or fucking...
I mean, I didn't even still look at the fucking regular female fanfiction. I just look with pure curiosity.
Stoic determination.
This is for science.
I will imprint this on my brain and print it out later for my bros.
I'll headbutt you and transfer the image.
For my bros. I will sacrifice this myself. But now for some manga.
Back to some manga.
Not even back to, just onto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Besides mentioning Wild Strawberry was on break, I guess.
Yeah. So what's tickling your fancy the most right now?
Probably Centuria. I mean, I really wish I took screenshots. I didn't this time.
Yeah, me neither.
But I definitely should have. Oh no, I did take one because I even posted it. The very last page we read. She is glorious.
She was.
She sure was.
Well, is, yeah. I don't think she's going to live, though.
I also don't think she's going to live.
I think she's going to be the first person to run into bloodbender, waterbender dude.
Me too. That's exactly the vibe I got. Like, she's going to be doing good. It's going to be that moment of hope, and he's going to be like, what is this rubbish? Like a speech bubble from off screen, and then just pans to him. And then he just waves his hand, and she dead. Heartbreakingly. It's also so sad when they're like covering like how good of a soldier she was for the army and shit. Just to have them be the ones killing her.
Yeah, those dudes get fucked up.
Yeah.
That one dude laying against the tree, there's like, nah, bro, you just don't understand. She's indomitable.
I get that whole section of like, oh my god.
That headbutt.
The glazing.
Yeah, that headbutt caved that dude's helmet in so hard. I was like, oh, he's dead.
Don't underestimate her.
Wild.
Fucking awesome. Breaking through everyone's swords with the blunt side. She didn't want to kill anybody, and she didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen, my guess, is I think Anval's going to die. The rest of the villagers are going to have to move somewhere else because they can't stay there now. You can't.
That's if they even survive.
Yeah.
I really hope Bogai does. I thought it was going to be like a slaughter fest, but one of the very first things that happened is Joseph lifting him up to the roof. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a minute here. And then hitting that guy from like mad far to protect Julia too. The guy's even just like, from there? My arm?
I think that the daughter girl, Anval's surrogate daughter or whatever, she's going to live.
I think so too.
I think she will stick with Julian in wherever he goes next.
The saddest thing too is I thought about the water guy too, and then when you finish, the next thumbnail it showed for like next chapter is his face.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do think that he will die though. I think Julian will maybe fight him, or at least he's going to be set up as an antagonist to fight eventually. Because
if he gets to Ongval while Julian's still running away, he might never even know what happened.
Because I also don't think Julian has what it takes to take that guy out yet.
No, he has no ranged.
Yeah, and I just think that, he's got 91 lives, or whatever he's at right now, but I don't think he could close the distance.
We also don't know if they got the same deal. Like, is that water on top of having, like, extra, like, life?
Right. Who knows? But, yeah, things aren't looking well.
No.
And I knew they weren't going to be. As soon as he uttered those words, I think this piece could last a while.
I love the glazing and respect on Ongval's name, though. I love when enemies respect their enemies.
Mm-hmm. It was great. Just right, we're going to catch up and be super sad that it's one a week instead of...
Oh, hey. The resume reading button is still there.
Oh, hey, nice black screen you
right?
got there, though.
Wow. Oh.
You're in a chapter, but it's just not loading.
Fucking nothing's loading, man. Damn, not meant to be.
Nope.
What I really came here for is to check the chapter count. Yeah, wow.
How far away are we?
It's 31, so 13.
Yeah.
2 of them still say deluxe only for me.
Maybe it's like the webtoons where you have to wait for the newest chapters.
No, because it's in the middle.
Oh. Yeah, but they said that for last time, didn't they? And I didn't have it or whatever.
Yeah, so it's a me problem. Well, I'll have to find those ones on a browser. And we're 13 away.
Yeah, light work. Because, again, we're reading more than one a week, so if doesn't matter how many they have, as long as it keeps going and we keep going with more than what's coming out, we'll eventually catch up.
It doesn't seem like they miss any weeks, too, looking at these dates. So they started in April.
It's always sad catching up to mangas. I enjoy having, like, something to, like a filibuster or something, so I can, like, okay, I want to read 2 or 3 chapters.
Magi's been great for this.
Yes.
Shows you how many views the manga gets on fucking...
Does it?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Eyeball counter.
How many does it have per chapter, like, on average?
Per chapter... Well, for KaguraBachi, because I just went to KaguraBachi to get, like, a frame of reference, each chapter gets about 200,000 views, roughly speaking, because none of them are, like, an exactly the same number.
And that's just on one app, too.
Yes. And that was just that one language, because it's separated for language.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, and KaguraBachi's at 50.
50 chapters.
Centuria also gets a... Well, oh no, it's gone down for some of the ones we're closer to, but about 100,000 views in English. The first chapter has 500,000.
Damn. Nice first chapter.
Right? But it seems to settle in around the 100,000, 150,000 range.
I mean, those are still good numbers, again, for one language on one app.
And it has more time to stew.
On the same thing, on the other side, though, for this is the one app that it's on. KaguraBachi's on a few apps.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's not. Well, I mean, there's probably some, like, overseas apps.
Yeah, like in Japan, it's probably easier to read it.
But either way.
So what next?
It's a good question. What?
We have Magi, Chainsaw Man, Dandadan, KaguraBachi.
Oh well, Chainsaw Man's easy because that's like all of a 3-second thing. Denji's planning something, and I think I know what he's trying to do.
Oh, speaking of, I didn't even cross-reference this yet. I happened upon the page where it said, what devils he ate. And you know what? I literally happened upon it. It wasn't Twitter. I was looking up, just like Chainsaw Man art, and I came across, it was octopus, mouth, snow, and bitterness. So that thing was probably the snow devil. He vomited it, snow came back.
Yeah, makes sense.
So he still has bitterness, octopus, and just bitterness and octopus in his stomach.
Yoshida Stocks ain't looking so hot again.
Well, he vomits up the octopus. Maybe it helps get him out.
Anyway, what I think Denji's trying to do with the jogging and how he's saying his escape plan is already in motion.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to increase his heart rate to stimulate pulling the cord to rev the chainsaw.
I thought he was just trying to make himself throw up.
That could be it, but then at the same time, what else is he... I don't see how an octopus or bitterness, in this case, would help him get out.
Me either, but bitterness could be anything.
True.
Octopus is the more like, what you can't do.
Because he's all sweaty right now, and I mean, maybe. The throwing up does probably seem more likely that there's something to do with that, but I think it would be cool if he tried getting his heart rate up to then use it to transform without a cord. Because I mean, it's on his chest, right? So, like, what engine are you revving up Unless he literally just has, like...
Well, it's definitely got to be his
chainsaw
heart,
mode.
because, I mean, Pochita was his heart, and it was like Pochita's tail's the ripcord coming
Yeah.
out. So, yeah. I like that.
We'll see what happens. What he's planning.
I like how he looks hysterical in these pages, like especially with the setup of the other crazy guy being the first page you see.
Mm-hmm. It also does not lend any more credence to the cope that Nayata might still be alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of sucks because I liked her too as a character, and I think that she had potential to be around. She could like learn more of the Control Devil stuff. She could be a useful ally against Death.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
in general,
if War Devil really gets to full power again, I think that the War Devil plus Chainsaw Man plus whatever Famine's got cooking, because it's Famine's goal to get rid of it too. That's a
and
pretty...
she's kept a lot close to the chest for someone that whipped out the Falling Devil out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think...
put her back in her pocket.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty nasty combo. But I mean, at the same time, it's the Death Devil, and we've seen what the fucking Darkness Devil did, and Death is supposed to be stronger than Darkness, so it's like, what is that guy?
And we've seen a bit of what Aging can do too, because Aging's supposed to be on that level. If we count the Flame Devil turned literally like half this city into monsters.
I still think that was fire, how the fucking Aging Devil just stopped that giant bullet. It crumbles. Ugh. That's amazing.
Hell yeah.
But
I wonder if it just hates the young for not being old. Because it really has a hard-on for these children dying.
Probably.
But I would feel like they have the most time to age. You should like that. But I guess they also still just resent living.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. But he's also still suicidal, so it's like...
Weird.
I haven't seen a devil that wants to be eaten, and then... Because
erased.
Because you would think that, like you said, the Asian devil would hate these kids because they're young and want them to grow old. But if the Asian devil is consumed, aging stops, so those children would stay children forever, and no one would age anymore, defeating his purpose of existence, which would be non-existent because he got eaten by Chainsaw Man. But it'd be counteractive to what he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why would that be the outcome you desire, to contradict your own purpose?
It's weird.
It's weird. So I feel like there's an ulterior motive that maybe we're not seeing. Or he's just like, I'm fucking old as fuck and I'm just done with this shit. I want out.
Maybe he also realized it would like cause panic. Because, I mean, they're good people who keep breeding. And they'll never die of old age.
Overpopulation would happen real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick. So I forgot the exact... I'm going to look it up right now. Just a little quick maths. Using our world, because, I mean, I know Chainsaw Man's, what, in the 90s?
Yeah. Running in the 90s.
Oh, wow. It's actually already a bigger margin than I thought it was. But so just a quick search. This result says that there are 401,300 births per day. And there's 158,686 deaths per day. So we're already, it's like 2.5x in the population.
Yeah.
Or increase.
Some of those deaths are from natural causes and aging, too. So it's not even that full number being taken off.
Mm-hmm. So,
though, again, with all of these factors, I'm sure the death rate will go up.
So yeah, so it's close to, so it's 4 births each second. Nearly 2 people die each second. 278 deaths per minute. 111 deaths per minute. So get rid of that the deaths per minute, and the population is just gonna exponentially get out of hand, and then
then
resources. Well, because you get rid of agent does not mean you can't die.
Yeah.
It just means.
Oh yeah. Deaths will go down, and then they'll go right back up.
Because even like if you're like immortal, but you don't have any superpowers, there's horrible things that could happen to you.
Repeated flaying.
That fucking torture Zeus did to what's his name?
Oh, Prometheus.
Yeah, dude gets
Plucking out the eyeballs
and his guts or whatever every day, and then when the sun rises, he's fully regenerates.
And start all over.
Brutal. So you just imagine fucking just like hanging someone on a meat hook, like through them. It's like
I hate that.
Yeah. Or my wife watched it, so I saw it. And I was like, when I heard about it, I was like, that would fucking drive someone insane, and it did drive the person insane. It was in Vampire Diaries. He's a vampire, so certain things can't kill them. You have specific ways you have to kill a vampire.
Yeah.
So what one of the enemies did to one of them was locked him in a box and threw him in a lake, and they couldn't find him. So he would endlessly be drowned into death, and then come back drowned to death. Because drowning wouldn't kill the vampire, but he would drown, pass out from drowning, or
It'd be really hard to get yourself out of the box while you're actively drowning constantly.
Yeah, exactly. And it was some kind of special box that he could. It was
okay, cool. So it's even stronger too.
Then he could break out of or whatever. Someone needed to get him out of the thing, but nobody knew where he was either. So
that's metal.
Yeah, he was there for a couple months or whatever.
I'll whip this one out of my asshole. That's some Dallas Genoa shit right there. From Baccano.
Oh,
yeah. They cemented him in the oil canister and threw him in early.
Yeah, he ain't coming out.
Nope.
And even if you do, people are just going to be like, oh, it's just a cement thing. Throw it back.
Yep. Luck don't fuck around.
Yeah, so. Chaos would start ensuing once resources got scarce. It would be Mad Max.
And the crowding. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or
the Purge.
Well,
if they catch it fast enough, it'll be the Purge.
Well, the Purge is how it would start, but I think it would turn into Mad Max.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think that the Purge is the prelude to Mad Max in my brain anyway.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
They start purging to try to hoard the resources, but resources are still finite. You'll go through them eventually.
Mm-hmm. And then War Devil would probably get up because wars would be fucking... You'd be invading countries for their resources. Fucking cartels would be fucking killing
famine.
Yeah, it would be fucking wild.
They'll pretty much just rule the world. At that point.
Famine and war.
Yeah.
The devils, yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, Chainsaw Man can potentially have some serious consequences if this devil dies. Or is eaten and not...
They do like Denji's point where he's like, well, if Pochita didn't eat you, then I guess he doesn't want to.
Mm. And maybe he didn't for a reason, because he's
been eating other things.
Yeah. Like World War II.
And bitterness.
I love how World War II is its own devil outside of the War Devil.
Or just the World Wars as a concept. Let's wrap both of them together.
Yeah.
1 and 2, that is.
Wild.
Because I don't have a fear of World War II. Though I guess some people in World War II definitely did.
If you were living at the time, you probably would.
I wonder if it's like Slanesh from Warhammer, where they're just birthed suddenly into reality.
See, how would that work, though? Because I feel like a devil would get... Well, he does. A devil gets weaker the less someone fears them, right?
Yeah.
So once World War II got off... Yeah, I think this is 35 years after World War II in the timeline of Chainsaw Man. I don't think World War II is much of a fear anymore. I feel like World War III could be its own devil and be stronger because people would be anxious about what World War III would be.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about saying that should have just been under the umbrella of World Wars. Like, that makes me wonder if Pochita ate World War II during World War II then. or like just after, or like right, like in the midst.
Pochita ends World War II.
It was like Pochita versus the Nazis.
Or it was eaten during the war fight.
Yeah.
Because war shows that she has children that she uses as weapons. World War II could have been one of those weapons that
with
he
nuclear
consumed.
with nuclear bombs.
It is still absolutely mind-blowing to me that the gun devil is a part of the war devil, and she can just use that with how strong.
Yeah, that brings
fucking
the scaling
devil.
way up. Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah. I was like, that battle must have been legendary between fucking Pochita and the war devil. Like,
I hope we get a flashback.
maybe that's where I don't know, because everybody in hell, all the devils that are in hell, have the same fear too of the revving of a chainsaw. Remember that when they're in hell? So
Angel mentioned it specifically too. Yeah.
So was Pochita always a thing, or did he gain acclaim by fighting the war devil and taking the war devil out? Because you gotta think, if you're looking at the state of devils, minus the death devil and maybe the darkness devil, at the height of war's power, she had to have been one, at least in the top 5.
Yeah, I would have to think
not
so.
top 3, because
I'd still put the gun devil in the top 5 if she didn't exist.
And now we know she can control that, and other devils that revolve around war, like the nuclear weapon, nukes are her fucking.
It'll be really tight with the horsemen included, the other horsemen included too, because you gotta include Makima or Famine. Famine's still a complete like mystery to me.
Yeah, but
because she did. If we're talking about controlling stuff, she whipped out something that killed all across the earth too.
Right. But my thing too is, though, even at the height of Makima's power, what really made her scary were her contracts with other things.
That's
not
true.
Her own
but
individual power.
as devils, that is even more terrifying because she could just be like, "You're mine now." Huh? Oh yeah. Yes, my queen.
I don't think it would work. Well, we know it wouldn't work on something stronger.
It definitely didn't work on darkness because she would have absolutely whipped it out in that moment.
So, because you got to think, if the war devil, I really hate to bring this up, I'm sorry, people of Japan, but the war devil and Makima is tied to the citizens of Japan, she could just be like, hey, my powers are the nukes. You already saw two. I can just drop more. I don't think
wars are really tools of government anyways.
So when I really think about it, I just don't think Makima has anything on a max power war devil.
At her height, I think she still does.
I don't think because I don't.
Again,
the control in war, I don't think would work the same way control at her height. I think if Asa walked up where you are right now, I think Makima just easy.
Because she did subjugate and then use pretty much gun devil stuff. I think I have no confirmation on it, but I have a strong hypothesis that the bang is a contract with the gun devil. Pretty strong hypothesis, I would say.
Especially now that we know it's literally a bullet.
Yeah.
Because the Agent Devil stopped it.
So that means if she forced the gun devil into a contract, she thinks she's stronger than the gun devil at the very least.
Or does she force it? Or, because...
Well, she controls them and then orders them to do a one-sided contract. To give them... You know how like Himeno's take all of my body so I can manifest all of you? Makima says, I take all of your body.
But here's my thing, though. If she could control the gun devil, she wouldn't have assembled the Avengers go fight it.
That's why I think she had to do that to get it the first time. So yeah. Because I don't think she can mental gymnastics the same way Asa can. Like, I think that's the point of Asa being naive. Makima is not naive. If she knows something stronger, her power is not going to work. She has to actually convince, like, herself even that she's stronger. So I think the moment the gun devil starts losing is when she's just like...
Yeah. So I still, personally, I would put height of power at the max of their abilities, war, because it's like, Makima is cool and all, But what is she gonna do against nukes and the full power of the Gun Devil in someone's hand? Makima has a bang, but so does But again, it's not Makima's power; it's taken from other people. So what stops Yoro for doing the same thing and getting contracts from other devils too, right?
Well, she can't control them. Besides the ones that are her children.
That-
And
which
I
are
don't
a
think
lot
she's
of them.
even controlling them. I think she's just like literally being like, I'm your mama. You do
Yeah.
this for me. I don't think it's actually control. I think it's mental control.
Well, it can't be controlled because then that would be stepping into the grounds of the control devil's ability.
So I think it's the mother-son relationship there. And that actually come into the most importance, because if it's not actual control, could Makima still just be like, that's a devil that's weaker than me? And that's what it's considering. Like, even if you don't want to say Makima has all the contracts she currently had, it's still in her power. If she was walking around hell, I'd imagine she'd be like, well, that one's weaker. That one's weaker.
Well, no, Makima,
Toenails, I don't even want you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that by any means Makima, she's one of the four horsemen. So she's strong. Absolutely.
Enough of that, the Darkness Devil specifically wanted her dead across dimensions.
Which I think he totally would have been able to do.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Well, he ordered the hit on Makima through the girl that sends them to hell. You see the note after, like, Makima's face-to-face with the Death Devil. She got a hit to kill Makima, not Denji.
Darkness, but yes.
Yeah, Darkness gave it to the Doll Devil girl. And she took the job to get a little bit of his power.
And we don't know shit about the Hell Devil, really.
Oh, we saw it, but I wouldn't start scaling it.
No. So yeah, Makima is definitely top 5. You're definitely, well, not right now, but I think she is still lacking in a lot of her abilities.
Yeah. Something is lame that Famine also has a control-based power.
Yeah.
Can I just say that? I feel like that was a little cop-out.
Well, maybe it's just one aspect of it, because you got to think Famine has to have something to do with starving people, too. So she's got to have some other ability she's not using. Because she is way too calm in situations that you should be freaking out, and she's just totally nonchalant.
Completely unfazed.
She's just like, I can handle this whenever I want. I just choose not to.
It's still the
That's
question
the
of how
vibe,
she knows everything she knows, too.
Well, I mean, again, she's another horseman, so it's not like she's uninformed.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? She's just more of a background character. I think.
But she's more informed than, like, everybody.
I think because she plays that background, she can avoid the limelight and gather information. And if you got the fallen devil under your control and seeing how much that, like, she's just going around getting information from whoever she wants, whenever she wants.
Yeah.
But I do still think they need, because again, death is just the concept of being death. Everyone fears that, you know.
Yeah.
So the amount of power the Death Devil has to have, I think that you need more people than just a roided out Yoro and Black Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
I think you need more than just the two of them.
Sadly, they've been smashing down public safety. I guess we can add Quan Chi to that. I'm sure she'd be there eventually. Not that I'm saying that changes the whole thing here. And I'm Quan Chi's biggest glazer.
Yeah, and I feel like Famine's definitely going to contribute some way.
Everything she's been doing is at least going to this. She's going to be there one way or the other.
Because her whole thing is, I want to make these two stronger so that they can fight death. She's not going to just let them go and not...
Yeah, as far as we know, I'm still keeping some sus on her name. The last time someone was that informed, they controlled the entire government.
Yeah. Because if I'm Famine, right, I'd be like, yo, Fallen Devil, help these bitches out. We need to get rid of death. You know, why wouldn't people... But that's the thing, too. You can't get rid of the Death Devil. Because then that gives even more problems than the fucking Famine, the Aging Devil.
Yeah.
So what you would, because we don't know where Death is right now. Maybe Death is sealed away so they can't just kill people left and right. Because it's like, yeah, we can't go around killing the Death Devil because that would cause this many problems. But we also can't have the Death Devil just walking around doing its own thing because
my headcanon,
Death Devil.
My headcanon is they have this whole prophecy built up around like the Lord of Fear coming and Death coming and stuff. I almost think, and this even goes back to what I said about darkness way back. I almost think the Death Devil just can't die, so it can't enter Earth by normal means.
Makes sense.
Right? It's either too powerful or because it's death itself, it can't just get killed, even by one of its henchmen, to come over to Earth.
You know what it is, too? What it depends on? Is the Death Devil Anubis, or is the Death Devil Thanatos?
Oh, God, I hope it's Anubis for...
Or Hades, rather. Hades versus Thanatos. Because Hades is the Lord of the Dead.
Yeah.
And Thanatos is death. So Thanatos do the death.
I would still take it as
whereas Hades, you
death.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, Hades he oversees the world of the dead, but he does not do the dead.
Yeah.
Thanatos do the dead. Thanatos is the one that comes and delivers death to people.
He's a sexy twink in Hades. I know plenty about Thanatos.
Oh, yeah.
I know about the big daddy and the twink.
Who do you play as in Hades? Do you play as
Zagreus?
Oh, just
son of Hades.
Oh, and Persephone, I hope.
Yes, and Persephone. And the whole mission is to get back to the mortal plane to see your mom.
Oh,
Persephone.
So it's during spring then.
Yes. And the cruel tragedy is because you were born in the land of the dead, when you enter the realm, you only got like 10 minutes max before you just die and come back to the underworld.
Why don't you just wait until the winter time when Persephone comes back to the underworld?
I think they just didn't put that in their canon for the game's sake.
Talk about the biggest... I was about to use the C word. The biggest bitch of fucking the Greece lore. The only wholesome couple in the entire thing, Hades and Persephone. Persephone's bitch of a mother has to be like, no, I love my daughter too much. You can only have her half the year. I take her the rest of the half. I have to strip her away from you.
She's a bitch in the game too, don't worry.
Oh, I bet she is. I forgot her name. Does it start with a C or something like...
It's been ages. I love the ice buffs too. I also knew it at one point because of Hades. Because she's one you unlock her pool of power-ups a little bit later. And even when she comes in, because like you'll walk up to a power-up and you'll be like, in the name of the god that is these power-ups, I beseech thee. And they'll come down, and the game has like thousands of voice lines. So they'll come down and say something like, oh, Zagreus. But when it's Ice Queen too, it's like, Zagreus. Yes, he's even just like, I can't let her know what I'm doing. Oh, fuck. Hi, Grandma.
Fuck her up. Kill the bitch.
Yeah. Same thing with, God. That woman's dad, the primordial thing. I forget its fucking name, too. Is it Kronos?
Greek mythology. I mean, maybe.
I think it is actually Kronos.
Because Kronos is Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon's dad.
I think it's Kronos, because there's like a special buff room where you talk to him, and there's also like, I gotta be careful when I'm talking about him to him and how I'm talking to him.
Nice.
God, I love that game.
I haven't played it.
It's so good.
Well, we're running out of time, so we have to talk about the sad one.
Are we talking about the sad one?
We're talking about the sad one.
Sure are.
Timeline doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that.
It barely makes sense. Barely. Because all he did was see Hirohiko draw. Yeah. All he saw was Hirohiko draw the sword. He could literally teleport in that moment, in that last page turn.
But the way it looked like, it seems like Urahara got slashed, but he wasn't like dead yet. But obviously he is, I guess.
Yeah, I get what you mean too. Because that was my first thought, too. I was like, wait a minute.
But you got to give it up to the KaguraBachi entire fan base for completely sussing out Samura immediately. Because in the chapter that it started, there was no real... Because there's the chapter before he got the fucking... the Urahara's sword. Is when the Samura sus started. And I'm like, no, there's no proof. And then the next chapter, they're like, oh no. There's a lot of proof.
No, I was already right on it.
But what I mean...
Because they did the Attack on Titan thing. Where they cheekily drop it between lines. Like, in between, like, Chihiro's impassioned line here, he goes even like, 2 years ago, Samura.
Sadness. I was really hoping it was wrong.
No, I took that one right at the face value. I was hoping, but...
I knew it, but I had my copium mask on.
I do give Samura the gigantic respect for putting Tobimune down and picking up a regular sword when he went to duel Uraha, though. Massive respect. Thank you, bro. Especially after just saying, with Tobimune, I could just kill them and spare all the workers, but he still put it down and took the regular sword.
Flawed reasoning, though. Urahara thinks he can do it. I don't think Samura could take out the entire Hisaku by himself.
Oh, you mean like after he's done with the sword bearers?
Well, alright, so his plan, based on what he says, he's going to kill Urahara now, so that takes out that one. But then it's like, okay, you just made another sword bearer, though. What are you going to do with the swords afterwards?
It's almost like he said he wanted to kill the sword bearers first and then deal with the Hishaku after. But then all of the Hishaku have all the blades.
That's what I mean.
Wouldn't you kill the Hishaku first, stash the blades, then kill the sword bearers without their blades? I feel like they must have said something to him. The Hishaku must have said their goal to him, and he's still keeping that to his chest. That's what I feel like.
He has information that we don't know yet.
Because why would you trust them? Why wouldn't you just hunt down all these people with your normal sword?
Because Urahara's right. It's like, why are you... Because he plans to use the Hisaku for this. It's like, bro, they killed your friend. Like, you're friends with Rokuhira.
Yeah.
And Urahara, but apparently he doesn't give a fuck because he just killed one of his friends.
I'm sure he treats Rokuhira just as guilty, too.
I mean, they're obviously hinting at the sword bearer's big crime, which is probably just mass murder, and they weren't good guys, but Urahara seems like a pretty good guy to me, and you're just killing him just because. Obviously, if he gets the sword back, he's not going to go around murdering people.
Yeah, but...
So you just killed the goodest of sword bearers.
Someone said this on Twitter, and I thought it was very apt and funny. Justice is blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, and now, too, because...
It's all black and white.
To Chihiro when he shows up is like, oh, you're looking off. You got the scent of blood all over you.
That's why I'm like, oh man, you're stepping. Like I was already thought you're stepping over a line, but you're definitely stepping over a line, trying to step up on Rokuhiro's son.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you think is right. Like,
because
poor Hakuri.
Poor Hakuri. Yeah. Oh my god, this dude is gonna lose his powers.
He is. He's giving himself brain damage just to also have to wallow in guilt for making the wrong choice that he couldn't have known. Like, it was just simple fact that Samura was closer to him than Uraha. If Uraha was right next to Hakuri, that would have been Kumayuri.
Well, what I think happens because all of the words he said, all the gas he heard of Samura, so he's like, if
this is the man to do it. Yeah.
To do it.
Shit, man. Funny enough, he did too, because he killed all those Hishaku members.
Yeah, except the main dude, like the leader guy.
Yeah,
because we saw him in a panel.
Oh, I did see that meme of, man, that guy's got Tobimune now. I gotta get the heck out of here.
For real. But, oof. I mean, Chihiro's bleeding a lot, but he didn't really take that much damage.
Someone said that on Twitter too. Is like, yeah, bro, that's his blood. Not even Hirohiko's blood. It's Chihiro's blood.
Yeah, from the crane.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of it's got to be his blood. The dude cut both the dude's arms off.
It's a little bit
This
of...
is gonna spray on you. And on top of killing all the other dudes.
And throwing his arm at Chihiro. So yeah, there's definitely some spray.
Yeah.
Like twice.
Yeah.
But it's still... What a gas chapter. Again,
So you think... I mean, because Chihiro's obviously not going to die here, but do you think Samura dies or he gets away and he's going to be a secondary obstacle in the story?
That one. Kind of like a character in Undead Unluck.
That I haven't met yet or don't know who yet.
You don't know who yet.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also find it interesting that they keep saying that Samura mentions that they buried their sins or whatever, or buried what they did. That doesn't sound like normal, like, wartime stuff. They did something. Maybe they, like, killed, like, a village of innocents, maybe? Who knows?
I'm sure they killed plenty of innocents that were at war, so...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just find it very notable, because Uraha didn't push back much against that. It wasn't like, he didn't start saying, it was war, damn it. He's kind of like, and you'll do this? Like, he almost, like, leaped over agreeing, even.
And, well, I think he even just straight out says, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I agree, but still not showing the Shinuichi owner's fucking face.
They did. Kinda. It was a side profile.
Yeah, but no eyes or whatever. Just looking gruff.
It's barely eyes. But he's got, like, some, like, dirty-ass, like, dry-ass lips.
Yeah. He's been in that prison for a while.
Well, everyone else is looking nice and clean.
Oh, no, man. Fucking, I still think the biggest obstacle is going to be the Shinuichi owner. I think he's getting his sword back.
Who?
The Shinuichi guy.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too. There's just so much buildup on him.
And he's so close to it. Him and his sword is in Kabunami headquarters.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this would be the perfect time for Shiba to come back.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I think that'll be the whole... I think you just found the resolution. Shiba gets him out of there.
Because as much as we gas up Shiba, I don't know how much he's going to be able to do against a sword bearer. Because it's basically defined super early in the show that a sword bearer beats out basically any other sorcerer.
Yeah.
Even if you are the, quote, pinnacle of sorcery.
Now they got that wild-ass Hirohiko with one.
Yeah. But kind of, though, because it's like, you got to think... If you did, well, Cloud Gouger, I wouldn't fuck with Cloud Gouger if I was fucking Mr. Shiba. But I don't know. I haven't. Again, we saw like a few moves. Well, no, never mind. I just counteracted my own thing. I was gonna say the typical teleporter attack wouldn't work on Samura because his things are crows. You'd think that dude can't fly?
Yeah, he practically did, man.
Yeah.
That when he first got that sword back, he went through like that whole fucking place in like a moment.
So it's like, even if you could get close range quick, like teleport behind him, grab him, teleport him in the sky, drop him, he's just gonna make some crows that grab his back and he's just gonna fly around and then...
Sorry, maybe just feel you coming.
Yeah, and then Shiba's just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna peace out, teleport to fucking...
Goodbye.
Europe
You're
somewhere.
a punk ass bitch. I never should have trusted you.
See, now, I think you said this too, and it's making sense. You think that Samura's the one that sold out Rukahira?
I think so.
Because there were only 3 people that knew about it.
Note that Hirohiko said he came to them years ago. In that little Attack on Titan moment I was talking about. That was so interesting, because Chihiro didn't stop the first time Hirohiko mentioned Samura. Hirohiko. Something about school, yeah.
But yeah, because it's like Mr. Shiba knew. and that was it. So it's Mr. Shiba and Samura were the only people, because as soon as they met at that time, in the scent, he could, I feel like, just like piece together roughly where they are.
I found it finally. Because Tears, you were like, God, it's been nonstop. My brain's in total disarray. Right here, Hugo just drops. At least that's what Samura thinks. That's why he made a pact with Yura 3 years ago. And Chihiro goes on like he didn't just say that. Like, it's almost like a little slip in there. He's like, if the Shinuichi is released, you guys are able to use it. Like, literally, it just goes by.
Wait, is that this last chapter?
Last chapter. And he repeats himself that Samura is, like, fucked up. But I just thought it was interesting that the first mention is just kind of, like, blown over because Chihiro is so scatterbrained. But he said that 2 years ago.
And that's basically when Rokihiro died. Right? 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I think so.
Just open chapter 1 and look for the 2 years
I was going to go on Rokihiro's wiki.
That works too.
That's probably got to give me, like, the year to in their lord. You know what I mean? Like, the actual year.
Voyager says, Rokihiro is a character, father of Chihiro, who died 2 years before the start of the story.
Looked up Chihiro on accident. Because we keep saying Rokihiro, so I just typed in Rokihiro Chihiro. Kunishige.
I love how we always refer to him as his last name, too.
Yes. I must do it again.
I'm trying to find it in chapter 1. 38 months later.
38 months later, 3 years.
3 years, 2 months.
So it was after. Then he died 1 year later. They make a contract with Samura. 2 years later, the plot starts. That's good, at least. That might exonerate him. That or Hokazono forgot.
I don't know. We'll find
I
out.
don't know, it's pretty bad. Because they could have been talking beforehand, you know what I mean? I don't like it.
Nope. Well, we'll have to double up on some next week.
Yeah.
It's alright, though. More content.
We'll have some manga to talk about, but we'll probably even read even more and just bash out
We're almost
the rest
done.
of the Balbot arc.
We gotta be close at this point.
Yeah.
So, but the Dukes of Weebdom.
Dukes of Weebdom.
Episode 87. See you next week.
Peace.